Hello, today we're going to talk about wine blends and everything you should know about them. Welcome to our channel Uncorked. My name is Roland Zimmermann. I am the 7th generation winemaker in my family's history and heritage of winemaking. Today I want to answer some common questions we get about wine blends. Probably the first and the most important one is, what is a wine blend? Some of the other ones we frequently get is, how is wine blended? And when you blend a wine, does it become lesser quality? Is blended wine cheaper than other wines? And basically the other one is, what are common wine blends? So, not necessarily in that order, but here we go. So common wine blends tend to be for red varietals. One of the blends most people are most comfortable and aware of are Bordeaux Blends. This tends to be 5 red varietals, namely Cabernet Franc, Cabernet Sauvignon, Petit Verdot, Merlot, and Malbec that tend to be blended together into creating a blended red wine. Again, these 5 varietals are very common for Bordeaux, and this type of blend is actually copied the world over. So it's not just in Bordeaux that this is done. There's other regions in the world that grow grapes that do this. Of course, a blend is whatever the winemaker chooses to decide it to be. In this case, the winemaker is more of an artist than they are a chemist, if that makes any sense. Some of the some of the other concerns people frequently have about blends is, if you blend a wine, does it become lesser quality? Well, to answer this, wines that are blended can range from the top of the line all the way down to the bottom. And as I mentioned earlier, Bordeaux blends tend to be some of the wines that are the most expensive in the world. Some of the lesser ones you tend to find in, and forgive the comparison, the gallon jug at the grocery store. And that's not to say that they're bad, it's just they might not be of the best quality. So this sort of leads into the next question is, are blended wines of a lower quality? And truthfully, most winemakers actually look at blended wines for a number of different reasons, not necessarily for low quality or cheaper price. They're actually trying to keep the quality consistent. And this means that you have to have different varieties that may have different characteristics expressed in order to keep the product tasting the same. Think of it a little bit more like the Coca-Cola, in the sense that Coca-Cola tastes the same no matter where you buy it, anywhere, at any location. And the intent of that is basically to make sure the consumer knows exactly what quality they're getting. And for the lower priced blended wines, that's usually what the winemaker is trying to achieve. For the higher end blended wines, this is actually trying to get the best expression of all the grape varieties that are present in the blend to come to the forefront, or to actually work harmoniously. And we've kind of talked about this in some of our other videos. If you look up our rosé video, we talk about how whites and reds are blended in order to get the color just right, or to get the flavor just right. And that's essentially what the blending is meant to do. It is more common, however, to blend red wines than it is white wines. White wine blending is a bit of a newer phenomenon, and we've been experimenting with that here at the winery for a number of years. And a perfect example would be our White Night, which is a blend of Riesling, Ehrenfelser, and Gewürztraminer. Those are not typically blended anywhere else in the world. It's something that we've done here uniquely at our facility to try to get the best expression, as I mentioned, of those 3 varieties. I did want to address one thing about blended wines here in the province of Ontario, or more specifically Canada. There are actually very specific regulations in terms of what is permitted in a blend. Most consumers don't really pay too much attention to that, and I'll try to give you an example. Our Riesling, our Queen Riesling, for example, is a blend of about 95% Riesling and 5% Ehrenfelser. Now, we don't have to put that on the label because by law you have to have a minimum of 85% of the variety in order to put the varietal name on the actual label. Now that holds true all across Canada, and that doesn't matter which blend it is, but basically if it has a certain varietal name attached to the label, that means that at a minimum 85% of the product in that packaging is actually what it says on the label. In this example, Riesling. Now that can obviously vary considerably in terms of what you can do, and most consumers don't find that very upsetting to learn that. In fact, it offers the winemaker a great deal of choices in terms of making that wine something unique and something special, such as our Queen Riesling that has those unique flavors from that little bit of Ehrenfelser that is added to it. Now, the final question is are blended wines cheaper than other wines? And again, this depends on the style of wine that the winemaker is actually trying to achieve. If they're going for something of consistent quality year over year, month after month, and then yes, likely blended wines will be cheaper because they're also trying to hit a price point at that point. If, however, they're trying to go for the highest quality expression possible of the variety, aka the Bordeaux's, then it's kind of a case that whatever the consumer is willing to pay is what the price of the wines will be. And you kind of can gauge that you get what you pay for in the sense of the higher the price is usually the better quality of the blend of the wines. I hope that answers all your questions. Thank you very much, my Vinous friends. Please drop us a like and give us a couple of comments. We're always looking forward to those, and they're very entertaining. And we see you next time. Thank you.